Hey guys, welcome back to the Hustlin' Horsepower channel. I appreciate everyone that likes and subscribes to the channel. It's been slowly growing, and I greatly appreciate it. It's all about the journey, so it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and some days in testing aren't going so well, some days go great. But today, Sexy Rexy and I head to Mooresville Dragway for the first time ever, heading out to their cruise night there, their Thursday night testing tune. It was a pretty good time, and some great owners out there. We greatly appreciate it, and we had a good time out there, even though car didn't do so good. But hey, watch the video. We get a hold of some things, and I think we got some things figured out. So next video, I think we're headed to the dyno here shortly. So we'll see and make sure that our problems are solved. You never know. We'll see what happens. But War in the Woods is coming up, and it should be one hell of a time. I'm excited for it. There's going to be some big people there. Even if you're not a racer, it's probably kind of like that Rednecks with Paychecks place. You know, it's probably worth coming out even if you're not a hardcore racer, just because it's going to be one hell of a time. See you there, guys.
So guys, Sexy Rexy and I made the trip. We're gonna come out here and test this little jalopy. We're out here at Mooresville Dragway. We're gonna just start off pretty soft here. Just ease our way into it. Might make a 330 hit unless it feels real good, and then you never know. I might make a full hit. But the main purpose out here is just to get, it's not even testing, right? These are more like shakedown runs than anything else. Just making sure everything's in line. I made probably 10 hits on the street, making sure everything's pretty happy. But I want to make probably like a 330 hit, and then go over the data log and make sure that's all, everything's all kosher. So I guess here goes first round. I don't have anyone here to video me. Maddy's up in New York doing some family things, so I came out racing with me and Sexy Rexy. So we'll see. Might have some people to do some video later, but we're gonna see what we can. I'm gonna have to get a mount for my phone or something like that, like Turbo John does it. But hey, we're gonna see what happens here, and we'll probably jump in the end of this line here, put a little more heat in the motor, and then see what happens.
Well, guys, this right here doesn't look so good. So the boost solenoid duty is basically what the solenoids are doing as I target my boost control. So boost is one thing, but you gotta have dome pressure, right? So boost solenoid duty. Look at these numbers change as I go through the data log. Click on here. You'll see how crazy they go. So 16, 5, 3, 2, 5. Now we're at like 63, 58, 54, 26, 15, 4, positive, negative. But see those big massive sweeps it's taking from up to low, up, high, low, high, low, high, low. That right there makes the wastegate uncontrollable. So I'm guessing the wastegates aren't fully seating, and even though we're targeting 10 pounds of boost, and we have 5.7 pounds of dome pressure, those things don't add up right there. So we're running into issues right there as far as some correlation issues go. So we either have a boost leak, or we have something going on that is, I don't know, making this car a freaking slug, because I could probably outran that thing on foot. Now, it wasn't completely horrible, and it worked on the street, and it would be consistent for backside of the track stuff, but for what I was targeting, it should have been way faster than this. So we got an issue that we're chasing here, and this boost solenoid duty, I'm guessing either there's some dirt or something like that in the solenoids, or we got a leak or something like that somewhere, possibly in the solenoids. So I guess I'll get back with you later on in the video. But I made this deal that I could pressurize the system and check it all with shop air. So I'll put it regulated at 100 psi through the air compressor, and I'll run it through the boost ramps, and we'll make sure that these things aren't having these massive sweeps going from big numbers and all these big numbers here. You should not see these if in a well-controlled system like I had it on the 33. You very rarely see 60-70% duty cycle. It's a nice, very smooth articulation as you go through the boost ramp.
Well, guys, welcome back to the Hustlin' Horsepower channel. To the people that sit on the couch and want to see us fail, y'all, I'm giving you half a point for last night's performance, because it was pretty dismal. I won't lie. It kind of sucks when you've been fast, and then you go out there and try to go fast, and it just doesn't go fast. Like, it wasn't completely horrible, but it wasn't fast. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna try to track down some issues and stuff like that. Figure out what the hell's going on. Nothing seemed bad with the motor and like transmission, but something's not right because it ain't making the power that it should. So I'm gonna go through and we're gonna do some boost test. Make sure in the last video or earlier in this video, depending on how I do it, you can see that the boost solenoid duty, how we control the amount of boost that we're putting into the car. So it's kind of I'll go and talk about it for a second. It's mechanical and air, right? So you got mechanical pressure, which is the spring, and then we put air pressure, pneumatic pressure on it to control it. So if you have a 5-pound spring and we put 3 pounds of air pressure to it, that's 8 pounds, right? I think I said 5. So whatever those two numbers add up to is the amount of dome pressure that you're putting on top of the valve. So that means you need about that much exhaust pressure to open it up. And in an ideal world, those things relate 1 to 1. And so if you put 8 pounds of back pressure in the exhaust system, you should make about 8 pounds of boost. Now that's a very, very rough estimate. Every motor's a little bit different as far as efficiency wise and the size of the turbos and wastegates and this and that. And if your wastegates are too small, that number is going to get skewed very quickly. But I made up one of these little suckers, right? It's just a union fitting with a 1/4-inch push lock and then an air hose, right? So I keep this in the trailer like 24/7 because there's been times that I might not want to admit, but we tossed the air tank in the car because the CO2 bottle ran out. We just hooked up this sucker and ran the car that way. But the main reason for having this is for testing and stuff like that. I hook it up to the air hose and I'll run it through the solenoids, and I make a boost ramp that is very linear to start off with and make sure everything's working like it should, and that the solenoid duty cycle isn't going crazy. It shouldn't be up at 100%. It should be a nice flowing curve there. So I'm gonna go through there and test that, and then I'll get back with you shortly. So guys, the PIDs here, right on the left hand side, those target the overshoot, undershoot, and the duration kinda of boost solenoid duty. Okay, so fixed 100 psi because that's what I have the regulators set at. And then, sorry, there's an awful glare in here. I don't know what I can do about it. But I adjusted those things and played with them a little bit. Okay, now we're going to USB link this so it's connected to the ECU. Enter, and we're going to go over here. I want to start this guy. That's going to start a little data log for us, and I'm going to show you how this works now. So we're going to turn on the alright, now you can see the solenoid duty. It's under 10%. That's about where you want it, okay? You don't want it going to 50-60% like it was. It was acting up there. So get on the trans brake. You see it go up to like 30-40%. That's running through the ramp that I made. But you see how that percentage is like nice and low. It's not going up to 50-60%, right? So you'll see it go up to about 30% there because it's dumping fairly quickly when I get on the trans brake button, because it's trying to go from 20 pounds of dome pressure down to 5 pounds of dome pressure like instantly. So we're going to run it through the solenoid duty here, and I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop this data log here. So guys, I just went through and opened up this global or this data log right here, and right now we have our target in green, our dome pressure in blue. So those two should be pretty correlated right there. And then the solenoid duty, okay? It goes from positive to negative 100% depending on if it's the fill solenoid or the dump solenoid. So positive number is filling the CO2 bottle or filling the dome pressure on the wastegate, and negative is emptying it. So now you can see here we got this pretty dang decent, okay? I'm going through dumping quick, and there's a little bit, if I was really wanted to get real specific with that, we could probably tighten that up a little bit. But see how this follows this pretty freaking closely, the jagged edges in here, and there's a little bit of a drop off here, but I'm willing to compromise that because generally speaking we don't have boost ramps that go that quick. So you see, we'll zoom in here a little bit. This is all within like no time of a second, but you can see there's a little bit of an overshoot here, right? But it's pretty dang clean. And those little gitches right there, there's a good possibility that those
are basically just because there's not enough of a buffer zone in there. Now, you see that there's the large dump right here, or large change in cycle, but that's only at a very fast rate of change. So that was 5 pounds of pressure in about a half a second, okay? So you get a little bit of a run out there. And then here, there was a 5 pound change instantly, and it took, we could go through here, we could set a tools, set 0 time, okay? So if we set the 0 time there, we were doing that, trying to target that change in 0.346 seconds, okay? So that's why you get that little bit of a doohickey there, okay? That was 0.346 seconds. So we don't make our boost changes nearly that. In a drag racing world, we're definitely not changing our boost by like 5 pounds and 3/4 of a second, okay? If you're making that big of a change, you're on the scramble button, and even then, that's, in my opinion, the wrong way to do it. But I'm not going to go through and talk about all that stuff. But yeah, so now if we compare that to, let's see if I could compare this to a data log from yesterday. Let's see where we were having some issues here. Test 1. Okay, we could see here. Now we're comparing that to a data log from yesterday. Look at that during the pass. It was a cluster. Like, that's ugly. Right here ain't bad, but this right here is freaking completely sporadic. And I don't know what changed there or what happened there, what caused that, but it was freaking ugly. But that's why you test. And we're gonna put this thing on the dyno today, and hopefully that right there will clear up most of our issues. The car's definitely not 100% happy because we have to make some compromises with not being able to get some parts. But the car should have been a whole lot faster than it was, and that right there might have been. Thank you guys to everyone that likes and subscribes to the channel. Come back probably tomorrow, maybe later tonight, for the dyno video. We're gonna get it up there over at Nigel's place, Brutal Speed and Fabrication, and he's not too far away, so I'm headed out now to go put that on, and I'm gonna upload this video for you guys, and I appreciate it. So check back and see you at We're in the Woods.